I am a grandmother now, and when I look in the mirror, I see wrinkles and gray hair. But inside my heart, I am still the same mother who once held her little boy and promised to protect him forever. Ha ha ha. Life was different back then, and I used to laugh more, without fear, without pain, without worry. My son was my world. I raised him with love, patience, and hope. I taught him how to walk, how to speak, and how to dream. I remember packing his lunch every morning and watching him run to school, waving back at me with a big smile. Those memories still make me smile, ha ha ha, even now. But there is one memory that never leaves me, and that is the day at the airport, the day everything changed. The airport was loud and bright and full of people moving fast. My son walked beside me holding my bag and telling me stories about his new life and his big plans. I listened with pride because he was strong and confident, and I believed I had done my job as a mother. When we reached the waiting area, he told me, "Mama, sit here. I will be right back." He smiled at me and touched my shoulder. I smiled back because why would I not trust my own son? Ha 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 ha. I sat down on the hard chair and watched people pass by. I saw families hugging children, laughing couples, kissing goodbye. I felt tired but calm. Minutes passed and I did not worry. I told myself he would come back soon. I looked at the clock and waited. More minutes passed, then more. The crowd changed and my smile slowly faded. I stood up and looked around. I called his name softly at first, then louder. No answer. My heart started beating fast. My hands felt cold. I sat back down and waited again, telling myself not to panic. Maybe he went to get water. Maybe he was talking to someone. Ha 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 ha. I tried to laugh it off, but my chest felt tight. Hours passed and the airport grew quieter. I saw workers cleaning the floor and lights turning dim. My eyes filled with tears. Wah, wah, wah. I felt so alone. I realized then that my son was not coming back. The truth hit me like cold wind. I remembered holding him when he cried as a baby, and now I was the one crying wah, wah, wah on a cold chair with no one to hold me. I felt abandoned, confused, and broken. I asked myself what I did wrong as a mother. I blamed myself again and again. My tears fell, and I did not stop them. Wah, wah, wah. My heart hurt more than my body ever had. I stayed there all night holding my bag and praying he would return. But he never did. And that was the moment I learned what loneliness truly felt like. After that night at the airport, my life moved forward, but my heart stayed behind on that cold chair. I went home carrying silence instead of joy. The house felt empty even when people were around. I cooked meals and set plates and then remembered there was only me. Wah, wah, wah. Those moments were the hardest. I would sit by the window every morning, hoping to hear his voice or see his shadow at the door. Sometimes I laughed at myself, ha 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 ha, thinking maybe I was being silly. Maybe he would call any minute. I kept his room clean just the way he left it. I folded his clothes and touched them gently as if he could feel it. I talked to his picture and told him stories like I used to when he was a child. Some days I felt strong, and other days I felt like I could not breathe. Wah, 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 grief comes in waves, and mine never seemed to stop. I tried to understand why he left me alone that day. I told myself he was young and afraid, or chasing a dream, or running from something inside his own heart. As a mother, even when you are hurt, you still try to protect your child in your thoughts. I remember the times I scolded him and wondered if my words pushed him away. I remembered the nights he stayed out late and how I worried and waited. Ha ha ha. I used to get angry, but now I missed even those moments. Years passed slowly. My hair grew whiter and my steps slower. I learned how to live with the pain. I joined a small group at the community center where other older people shared stories. Some laughed, ha ha ha. Some cried, wah wah wah. And we held each other with words. I started telling my story out loud, and each time it hurt a little less. I realized I was not weak for feeling sad. I was strong for surviving it. One day I began writing letters to my son, even though I did not know where to send them. I wrote about my days, my memories, my regrets, and my love. Writing became my healing. I started smiling again sometimes, without guilt. Ha ha ha. I planted flowers in my yard and talked to them as I worked. I learned that even broken hearts can still grow something beautiful deep inside. I still hope that one day my son would remember me, not with shame, but with love, that hope stayed alive quietly, patiently, like a small light in the dark. One quiet morning, many years later, when I was already a grandmother to other children in my life, I heard a knock on my door. It was a soft knock, not loud, not rushed, just gentle. I remember laughing at myself, ha ha ha, because no one ever knocked like that anymore. When I opened the door, my heart almost stopped. There he was, my son, standing in front of me, older, thinner, with tired eyes and shaking hands. For a moment, we just looked at each other. I wanted to speak, but no words came out. My eyes filled with tears, wah, 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 and his did too. He fell to his knees and cried like a child, wah, 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 saying, Mama, I am sorry, over and over again. I touched his face to make sure he was real. I laughed and cried at the same time, ha, 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 wah, 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 because I had dreamed of this moment so many times, but never believed it would come. He told me his story slowly. He told me about fear and mistakes and pride, and how leaving me at the airport was the greatest regret of his life. He said he was ashamed and thought he did not deserve to come back. I listened quietly, holding his hands, just like I did when he was small. My heart still hurt, but my love was stronger. I told him I was angry and hurt, but I never stopped loving him. Ha ha ha. A mother never really can. We cried together for a long time, and then we laughed, remembering old stories and silly moments. The house felt warm again, like it used to. That day I cooked his favorite meal, and we sat at the table together. I felt complete in a way I thought was lost forever. The pain did not disappear, but it changed. It became something softer, something healed. Now, when I tell my story, I tell it with tears and smiles. I tell people that life can be cruel, but love can wait. I am old now, but my heart is light. Ha ha ha. I still laugh, and sometimes I still cry, wah wah wah, but I am not alone anymore. My son stayed, and that is my happy ending.